Hello and welcome to a week in the life of a Kane County Fellow. So first we're driving to the shop at around 7 a.m. and now we are loading in our cooler, our bags that are full of sampling stuff, as well as some pit tag readers and notch books, and we head our way to our sites that are quite a few distances away, but we are so ready. So first I'm going to show you how to set up a trap. So we're going to want to stick one of the poles through the end of the trap and anchor it in. Make sure it's really firm in there. And next we're going to extend the trap and pull it as taut as we can. And we want to make sure that the throw is horizontal so that the turtles can swim right on in. And now we're going to take some poles and we're going to make sure it's secure and nice and tight so that if a turtle swims in, it's not going to move around. And that's how you set a trap. Now we're going to add some bait. We use sardines and just gonna throw it all in there. And after we do that, then the next day we check traps. So here is me checking a trap. I'm gonna pull these stakes out and just setting them aside because I will reset them after I check the trap. And then you're gonna wanna pull the top of the trap up, and lo and behold, we have a snapper. And so that's a large trap. Grace is doing this to a medium trap where you could just pick it up, and unfortunately we didn't get anything. But when we do get something, we first sample it by taking its blood. So here Grace is doing a great blood draw on this tiny itty bitty blandings, and so we know how much blood to take based off its weight. So for a bigger turtle, we'll take 3 mils. And for a smaller turtle, we'll do a calculation to see how much blood we can take. So this guy isn't getting the full 3 mils because he's quite tiny. So after we get its blood, we start swabbing. So we do oral swab, so this is oral. And after we do oral, we then do cloacal swabs. So this is Grace swabbing its cloaca. And then 2 of those swabs will go into a COS tube and a COS with RNA later. And then after that, we're going to take the 3 remaining swabs and we're going to swab it all over its shell. So it's plastron, and we're going to get it really, we're really going to work it in. And then we're going to do its carapace to just get all the DNA that's on the shell. So we're looking for omidomyces, which is on the shell. So we're just going to do that. And then after, we're going to take some measurements. We'll do carapace length, width, height, and then plastron length and width. And then we're going to spray down to get to our next site. And some of the sites we actually have to drive to because they're quite large. So here is us taking the Polaris, and again, me checking a trap. Here we have in this trap a pretty big snapper. And some days in the mornings, we will check snake boards. So here we found some smooth green snake eggs. And here is actually another one, because I guess it's egg laying season for them, which is really fun to see. And maybe we'll see them around. But then sometimes we catch, yeah, that's right, a snake. And so when we catch a snake, we're going to sample it. And first we're going to take its snout to vent length and then its vent to tail length to see how big it is. We can also sex them. I unfortunately don't know how to sex a snake, but that's okay. And then we're going to swab them. We're going to take 2 swabs, and then we're also going to look for lesions on them. And we'll process these. And some days we actually get to play in a river. Just kidding. We were releasing mussels, but this is Grace skipping a rock. And one of the nights, instead of going to the library, we were able to go fishing, where we caught some bass, and it was just a very well-deserved and needed break before the dreaded trap pulling day. This is the day where we pull traps that are wet and gross because we must do it. And some days we take sleds because where we trap is really far away and it's kind of a pain to walk. So here's Bill showing us his sled full of traps. Oh my gosh, that would be such a pain to walk with, but instead we're happy. And then we also have to shake out the traps. So this is Bill shaking out the traps. Whoa, there's a lot of gunk in that. And he has a new method. Look at this. Oh my gosh. This is quite the method, and it's quite effective to make sure we get all the debris out. And then after that, we're loading everything into the truck, putting everything away so we can get back to the lab and do some lab work. So here we have Grace making some blood smears. We also get hemocitometers, PCVs, ESRs, total solids, and by that, we are at the end of the week. Thank you for watching.